Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Dread Pirate once again, and I thought I would do a little introduction before we get started with the upcoming role-playing game sessions. This is just a brief forward. I just would like to say that this is the continuation of the City of the Spider Queen games I've been running with my friends from school, Alex and Digby, and the reason I'm doing this forward right now is because I just kind of want to clarify here that I'm really enjoying this game. I'm really enjoying the people I'm role playing with. Um, I'm really digging. A lot of fun, kind of crazy stuff has happened here. There's some interesting combat, some fun creatures they've sparred with recently, and just, it gets really crazy. But the last couple sessions we've run, about 3 weeks in a row, have had some of the worst technical problems I have ever had to deal with. And I feel like I'm I'm happy with the game we've been running. I'm just having a good time playing the game, but I'm really like listening to the recording. I'm just really not satisfied with the production here. Basically, just a little forward here. The main okay, first of all, addressing the elephant in the room. I haven't done anything in a while. What it really boils down to is, and I think it's fair to say that I just do not have the equipment to be doing this show or doing any of this crap. I don't just on my end. I don't have the best internet connection. I don't have the best equipment like computer wise on my end. I consistently have problems using Discord, using OBS, and it's just been, I really, if I had my way, I really wish I had to set up like the Critical Role guys, which I've been watching a lot of lately. It's great. It's like watching like it's like the D&D games that inspired me to do this, like Lord Cat and Spoony's games. It's like now they're done by like professional actors, actors I all like Matthew Mercer and Laura Bailey and whatnot. And that's really great. That's definitely a show worth watching. But I don't have that kind of setup. I don't have that kind of money. I don't have any kind of production. I have no business doing this in the first place. But whatever. I like my role playing games. I want to be creative. I'm going to do something. I'm going to work with what I've got. But I've been just having a lot of consistent issues. One thing I want to address also while I'm at it is like I haven't role played with a lot of the other people that I played with before lately, just for a variety of reasons. Malmoto's been busy with work, and he wants to do Dents, and he's been kind of like he's been talking to me lately, like he's getting excited and wants to finish it. And I think he's just in the writing process for that. So, but he hasn't. So he's been kind of like sending me some text messages every now and then. It's like, oh man, I want to do Dents, I want to do Dents, but he hasn't really given me like a date when we're gonna play. So I'm just like, whatever. I think he would also like to run Buffy, but also he hasn't been like, hey, let's play Buffy. He hasn't been like just hitting me up. It's like let's play that game or like so that's why. I mean, if he seriously, he hears this and he's like, yeah, let's play Buffy. It's like, all right, sure. Tell me when you want to run it. We'll play Buffy. But um, I'm kind of busy in general, so it's like it's like if unless someone really requests it, I'm not really going to go out of my way to start it. Oxenius has been busy with school and work. And like we're at the end of the spring semester, but he's like his class keeps on going into the summer, so he's still busy. So I think he's kind of down to role play whenever, but it's just like we kind of been busy. We just kind of like him and Jed have been meeting up. It's like talking every now and then on Discord, but we haven't really been playing a while. And then as for Jed's got a couple of things. Jed's I think like done with school for the summer too, and he wants to play. He's got a couple ideas in the works. I'm just kind of waiting to hear from him. He's got an idea for he wants to do some more Fallout with Tabletop Simulator, which I'd be really down for. And he also he's got an idea for a game based off of the cartoon series Fillmore, which he introduced me to, which is like a detective show. And that looks really interesting. But basically, just a lot of these guys haven't had like the time to play, but Alex and Digby have had time to play. So we've been at least recently. So that's why I've been kind of running things with them. But basically, like the main problems I've been running into is OBS has consistently given me this glitch where I want to run this long form content where we just play for hours at a time, however long we need to play, and just I record it and we're good to go. But I've been running into this glitch where basically, and apparently this is a common glitch with OBS, where basically every now and then when I push the stop button, it says stopping recording, and it just doesn't stop, and it just continues to quote unquote stop recording for hours. And what I finally come to the realize in the case of like of troubleshooting this is that if I just don't touch the damn thing and I let it sit there for several hours, I just let it sit there forever, however long it needs to finish, it'll give me a complete video, but it'll be basically just corrupted. And that's what I've been running into the problem here is like essentially the past couple sessions I've gotten the entire sessions that we've had available, but what it'll do is it'll start initially running just fine, uh, at the same time, but once we get to the end, it starts speeding up our dialogue to the point where you can't even hear it, and it's very frustrating. There's been other issues as well. Um, it's both Alex and Digny are not they're willing to be recorded for a D&D session, but they're not like necessarily into being content creators themselves. So like a lot of times their audio is not the best. We ran into another problem in the session that I'm about to show right here, where we started using Roll20 for the first time, and Roll20 has its own like voice recorder and video recorder stuff. So I didn't realize that initially. So we're both on Discord and Roll20 at the same time. So there's a terrible echo. And it's just the type of thing I've been listening to these recordings over and over again. And I'm liking the story. I'm digging it. But at the end of the day, like just from it, like I'm enjoying this game. I'm enjoying the story that we're telling here. It gets really crazy and fun. I like the idea that we're basically playing Marvel and Overwatch characters and running around in Dungeons and Dragons. It's like as the crossover whore that I am, I'm having a great time. But just like from a technical standpoint, I'm just really pissed. It's like, and it's just, I'm having a lot of difficulty doing this. Now I'm trying to think of a couple things to remedy this. I there's a couple other things to factor here too. Digby likes to suggest things that he thinks would be a good idea. So we started using Roll20, which was kind of cool. I never really did it. Digby's kind of good for kind of pushing me into trying something new, which I appreciate. Get me out of my comfort zone. But I think like it feels like Roll20 is also kind of a glutton for RAM, and I don't have a whole lot of material on my end, so I feel like it might be making problems as well. As for the OBS glitch, normally if I were playing with Oxenius or Jed, well, they use OBS too, and they have a much better setup than I do. They almost never have problems with this. So a lot of times, like before a gaming session or like whoever's running the game, I'll ask that, like, hey, Oxenius, could you record this too in case mine fucks up, because it probably will. And they'll do that. But again, Alex and Digby are not necessarily interested in being content creators, so I don't feel like I can ask them to do that. They don't have OBS. I don't feel like it'd be appropriate for me as a dungeon master to say, hey, you two need to like download this program and record it for me so I can post it on YouTube. It just feels like it'd be really shitty of me to ask that of them. So I don't really have that opportunity here. And it gets really bad in a couple, not this session specifically, but like a couple sessions from later on. I figured out one thing that I could do is I could basically pause like as we're playing the game, like basically I got in the habit of like, well, let's or trying to get in the habit of like after an hour of us playing, we just stop and we stop the recording and let it close out, and it'll usually do it. It'll close out the recording, nothing, there'll be no problems, and it'll be like boom, and that video turns out fine, and then we'll do another hour of play and continue from there. Well, the problem was like this last one I did this last week with Alex. We were playing for about an hour, and then we got into like a combat, and I think we were really digging into combat. We really got involved in the combat, and I just kind of lost track of time. Before I knew it, like 2 hours had gone by. It's like, oh shit, fucked up. Now it's going to have problems like closing out. So we got to a point where another combat started up, but it was like kind of they were more minor enemies. They were basically kind of easy to kill, and I knew they were easy to kill, but I had to set things up a bit and roll initiative for them. So I figured, hey, why don't I use this opportunity? Let's stop here. So what I thought might be a good idea was I basically closed out the recording, and I started up another instance of OBS, and let that first one take however fucking long it would need to close out. And I basically got two versions of OBS at the same time. So that's all well and good. But the problem is while we were doing that, while OBS was taking forever to basically to finish that recording, while we're running just very frequently, like every 7 minutes or so, while we're like less than that, every 5 minutes or so in or running the game, it would cause Roll20 to freeze up. And not only would it freeze up, but we couldn't hear each other. It basically would like completely drop the connection, like, over and over again. It was really frustrating, and you could hear me on the thing, basically just getting very, very mad. I'm just kind of embarrassed by it, but it was that bad. It was just constantly fucking up over and over again. And I feel like just even when on a good day, like I feel like I'm having problems with these recordings for that reason. So yeah, so that's an issue. What I'm going to try to do here is, listen, I'm perfectly willing to listen to feedback in this. Anybody who is better at this than I am, or basically has some experience with this and wants a suggestion, by all means, put it in the comments. Shoot me a message. I'm I do not claim to be an expert on this at all. I'm not, and I'm perfectly willing to get some feedback on this. So by all means, what I'm going to try to do in this session and the next couple sessions is, again, I'm really upset with the production here. So what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a little bit more time, and I'm going to actually take some of the files I've got, run them through VLDC a few more times. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to take my time and basically I'm going to re-record them here on my computer with OBS about an hour at a time, and then stop the recording, and then basically just make a bunch of files. So it's like what you should be seeing by the end of this is the finished product. But in particular, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the segments where our dialogue starts to speed up due to the glitch, and I'm going to slow that down in VLCL. I'm also going to use Roll20 to basically give you guys some visuals as to what I'm basically just going to listen to it and recreate what essentially happened on the map at the time while you're listening there. I'm going to try to do that, and I'm going to basically give us a few visuals, or give people an idea of what's going on. And just kind of stop it in hour segments, and hopefully that'll work out. I'm going to slow down the dialogue in VLCL so that way you can actually hear what we're saying. Now, mind you, what's going to happen as a result is you're gonna when it comes to like our dialogue at that point, what you're going to notice is if I'm saying something, I'll be saying it like this. It's going to be very obvious that our dialogue has been slowed down. That's the thing I've been noticed listening to it on my own. Is it sounds very, very slowed down and weird, but at least you'll be able to hear it. So hopefully that can at least salvage these videos we have right here. My other option was basically just do a recap. I've also reinstalled OBS, and hopefully maybe doing that will just solve a lot of these problems. I'm not sure, but we'll give it a shot. So this is long. I've been going for about 12 minutes now. So this is my little introduction. So just bear with me, folks. I hope you enjoy this or can get some enjoyment out of this train wreck of video making process that I've been in. But again, enjoy the game. Again, it's Spider-Man, Venom, and Reinhardt saving the world from the scum of the Underdark. So enjoy.